I have a problem with my new greenhouse. I've had it since May. The side seam stitching, which runs around the entire framework, doesn't have a membrane. So water tends to leach through the gaps, and when it's raining particularly hard, enough water seems to creep in and then gathers and runs down the plastic and then drops down onto my cactus pot. I've supported the plastic roof inside so the water can run off elsewhere, but it does still keep happening. Hello, I've just gone out into my greenhouse to check on my plants because we've had quite a lot of rain, and I seem to keep getting drips from the roof on the inside, keep dripping down onto various cactus pots. So I've just gone out there to check, and this one is absolutely sodden with rainwater, so I've had to bring it in. I mean, that's how wet the stick is. It seems to be getting them very wet, and at this time of the year I really do not want them sat in water. And because this is an Astrophytum plant, these really cannot tolerate any humidity over the winter, and I have to take this out right now and put it into dry soil media. And this is about a 7 centimetre pot that it's in, and it was a lot smaller than this when I first got it. It was only little, and it's beautiful. It hasn't flowered yet, but I don't think that it's just the right age just yet. Okay, I've just taken it out of the plant pot. You can see how sodden and wet that is, and this is the root ball here. It doesn't look like it's completely rotten. You can see the fresh roots there, but this had to come out straight away. You can see how wet it is. So what I'm going to do is just completely let this absorb into here before I repot it. I've scraped away some of the surface soil just to check the base of the cactus, and that looks perfectly fine. It doesn't seem to have any surface mould or anything like that. I think this has literally just happened within the last few days, so hopefully I've caught it. But you can see how soaked that is. It's got its next paper towel on, so I'm going to let that sit and soak it up. So I'm just showing you this because in case this sort of happens to you, don't feel like you have to just throw your plant out because you think it's rotten or something. Just take it out straight away, take off as much water as you can, without hurting the roots, especially at this time of year, and clean out your pot and put dry soil media in and sit it back in. And I'm going to keep it indoors now for a few days to help dry it out further. And I've had this happen to a few of my other plants. Earlier on this year, it happened to 2 of my mature lithops plants, and I did an emergency repot on those, and they have recovered remarkably well. They had swollen up, they'd absorbed so much water. I'd caught them in time, and they're doing really well now. Okay, so I've put it back into the pot now, and I've just started to fill it with some clay pebbles and lava rocks. So I'm going to have to take this one out of its pot now as well, because the rain has dripped down onto this one as well. This one actually hasn't been repotted since I've owned this cactus. It's got some nice roots there, it looks healthy, but it's just too wet. I'm just going to have to take some of this old soil away. Not really sure what this soil is, it looks quite peaty. As I say, I've not repotted this at all since I've owned it, so it's due a repot. You can see how much I've taken off here, and quite a few of the roots have come away. Okay, so I'm going to sprinkle the root ball now with some cinnamon powder. So I'm just going to sit it back into the pot and let it dry out. So I've got my Astrophytum now on the windowsill, and I've got it slightly elevated so the air can get underneath the pot as well, just to help dry it out. And this is my Astrophytum myriostigma, just to show you in complete contrast to the other two Astrophytums. This plant was sitting, well, 3 or 4 inches away from the other pots, and this didn't get any water in it whatsoever. And this is literally 95% dry, and this one's really okay, but I've brought it indoors because I want to keep an eye on its flower buds, because I'm still waiting to see if they are going to pop open with some seeds. So I'm keeping an eye on them indoors.